everyone. Today we're going to be doing lesson 12-2 in Envisions 2.0, and we're still working on decimals. I wanted to review a little bit before we get into today's lesson. So this is our place value chart. We're used to seeing this part of the chart, the ones, the tens, the hundreds, and then it would continue thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions. But we have two new columns. Very exciting. So we have our decimal point here. We have the tenths column, and we have the hundredths column. So if we were to say this number out loud, it would be 425 and 39 hundredths. Now, I like to compare decimals with money. So this would be $425.39. Now, tenths and hundreds are part of a whole number. They're not the whole number. So think of it like a dollar. There are 100 pennies to make a dollar. So this is taking up 39 pennies. So you know that that's how far you are from $1, which would be a whole number 1. And tenths, so we talked about this yesterday, 10 over 10 equals 1. 10 tenths equals 1 whole. And hundredths, we have 100 over 100 equals 1 whole. So 100 hundredths equals 1. All right, so I have some examples. Today we're going to be talking about fractions and decimals on a number line. And I have some examples here. So here's our traditional number line. If you can see, we start at a 0 and we go to 1. Now, usually when we have a number line, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up. But because we're talking about fractions and decimals are part of a 1 whole. So you can see we only go up to the number 1. So let's talk about our fraction first, because we've done this in school, right? We had to count the number of spaces on the number line, and that will be our bottom number or our denominator. Oh, I'm giving away the answer. Okay, so let's count our number of spaces. You know, I did that in school all the time. All right, so let's see. We start at the 0 and we're going to count spaces. And the reason we're counting spaces is so you don't get confused with all the lines. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 10 spaces. Now we're going to count. We want to see what fraction does A represent. So we're going to start at our 0 and count over 1 line, 2, 3, 4. 4 tenths. Now going back to our place value chart, so if we say 4 tenths, we would actually put a 4 in this column, right? So we say this equals decimal point 4. So this A equals 4 tenths or decimal 4. So that means this line would equal 1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, 5 tenths, 6 tenths, 7 tenths, 8 tenths, 9 tenths, 10 tenths, which equals 1 whole. All right, let's see if we can figure out what B is. Same thing, we're going to count how many spaces are on the line. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 spaces altogether. 10. And now we want to see what B represents. Where is B on this number line? So now we're going to count the lines. We're going to start at 0. We don't count 0. We're just starting there. So we're starting here. And then we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that would be 8 tenths. which equals, it's our decimal point, and we're going to put the 8 in the tenths column, 8 tenths. So this would be, so we have our line here, we start at the 0, this would be 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, 10/10. And remember, 10/10 equals 1 whole. Okay. All right, let's see, we have our third example here. So this is same thing. We're going to count the number of spaces. Are you getting like the gist of it? How many spaces, how many parts of tenths are broken into how many parts? There's 10 tenths, get it? So let's count. Spaces, remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're going to do 10. And now we're going to count the lines. So start at the 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5/10. So C equals 5/10. And if that's a decimal, we're going to put our decimal point, right? I hope you can see this when I pull it up. We have our decimal point, and we're going to put our 5 in the tenths column because it's 5/10. 5/10. All right, and we're going to do our last example. Oh, let's count here. So if this was 0, this would be 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, 10/10, or 1 equals 1. All right, let's do our last example. Again, we're going to count the number of spaces. How many spaces is my number line divided into? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. And then I want to count my lines. I want to start at my 0 and count 1, 2. So it's 2/10, which would equal decimal point 2. Now, well, let's count here. So we have 0, right? So this would be 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, 10/10, which equals 1. All right, so this is 12-2 for Envisions, fractions and decimals on a number line. All righty, I also have a Khan Academy video, and then you have some examples, like some practice exercises to do on Math IXL. All right, everyone, miss you, bye.